Cities 97, so happy to be joined in the studio right now by Mary Lambert. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
How was last night?
It was a blast.
You crushed it with those two good kids.
They were great.
Matt
Weren't those kids good?
I'm not talking about the crowd. I'm thinking that was probably packed. I'm talking about Matt and Gavin. They're both a couple of really good dudes. I'm guessing that you're having
amazing.
a blast.
Yeah, it's fun. The tour is really, really fun.
Matt Nathanson's out of control.
He's my favorite. He's my favorite person. I know you're not supposed to pick favorites, but Matt's my favorite. I feel like I think we were in Boise, and I was like, someone should just make a Twitter for Matt's hips, because the things that he does with his hips when he's on stage, and the things that I like when I watch like the girls in the front row watching Matt's hips, it's amazing.
Plus, you guys share the nose ring thing. So
yeah,
have you bonded on that
we're
yet?
We're very similar people, actually.
Really?
Yeah, we're both pretty self-deprecating and hysterical, and like I'm so funny and very talented, and
well, you're a pretty good writer, so I'm guessing that would translate into the comedy as well.
Yeah, and but he's also like, he's so loving. Like, he loves his family so much.
We've got a morning guy here, Brian Oak, who's been here for many, many, many a year, and been there pretty much probably from the beginning with Matt. And so those two have like a hardcore bromance. I mean,
love it.
When they are in this setting, the interview setting, it actually, you have to rein, not just, a lot of times the radio guy has to rated the artist, you know?
Yeah.
And this is, you have to rein them both in. It's just, it's
amazing.
out of control. You almost need a moderator for those two doing an interview. I mean, seriously, it could be
awesome.
Brian be like, so Matt, the color black, your thoughts? And then they'll go back and forth forever. So anyway, I get that totally.
We'll be like that soon.
You and me?
Yes.
I would love that.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to jump right in. What came first, Same Love or She Keeps Me Warm?
Same Love did.
Okay.
I wrote the chorus specifically for Same Love.
Okay.
And
so I thought, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I honestly, to be completely honest, I didn't want to do She Keeps Me Warm. That was not a record I wanted to make.
Really?
I wanted to do Same Love and have that be its own chapter in my life, and then move forward and do other things, spread other kinds of joy. And but every time, like, I would get new fans that were coming to my show, and they'd be like, "Why didn't you perform Same Love?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't rap that well." I was.
Have you ever tried it?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, actually. I lied.
Are you pretty good?
Yeah.
Nice.
I do spoken word.
You should do that. You should lay that thing down.
I do spoken word. M-A-R to the Y. My name is MC Mary, and I'm hella fly.
Nice.
It keeps going. You can keep going with
I believe it.
things like that.
You should lay that thing down.
Words.
Although we don't need to now because we have She Keeps Me Warm.
That's true.
But did I read right? I don't do a ton of reading just because I like to do interviews old school where, because if you'd have come in here in 1998, I'd have been like, so who are you? I don't know anything about you. Now I can look everything up about you and we don't need to talk.
Yeah.
So I like to come into these things fairly ignorant. Is it true though that did I read right that you wrote that course in like 2 hours?
Yeah.
What do you think you are?
A genius.
Clearly.
No, I think this was the deal. It was a pressurized situation, and Ben and Ryan had tried. I think a lot of people. I was sort of a last resort. It was like, well, we've tried everybody else. Might as well let this like weird girl from Seattle try.
Weird girl.
I was drunk. Let's let her try.
Right.
So they gave me about 2 hours. I did a shot of tequila, and then I ran into my apartment, and I had 2 hours. I was like, okay, priorities. I gotta make this song. But
and toast a bagel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gave me this opportunity to really address, I thought, what would I tell the public as a gay Christian woman, that I've lived in both worlds and that continued to sort of straddle both realms. What would I tell the world in my experience? And so the song came very organically and was very true to who I was and true to who we all were. And
then kind of the line that keeps repeating is not crying on Sundays.
Yeah.
That tells me that maybe you're like, you know what, I'm cool with who I am and how I am, and you don't get to tell me.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, I did. I cried every Sunday for a year when I was coming out. Because you're 17. At least I was 17 when I came out. So you're 17, you feel like you're a freak already, and then someone's telling you that you're going to hell and that all of your friends are going to hell. You're like, okay. And it's an institution that you've trusted. And so rather than accepting that I was going to hell, I was like, well, I'll just repent. So I'll apologize every day to God, and I'll say, I'm sorry for being gay. I'm sorry for living in sin. and then I'll be forgiven and I'll get to go to heaven. That's so screwed.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Like
yeah,
when you're
terrible.
17, like that's nuts. So I think when it was at some point when I was 18 or 19, I was like, this is not right at all. This makes me feel bad about
That doesn't
everything.
sound like the God that I was taught about.
Exactly. It's like God. I don't believe that God ever condemns love. I just don't. I just disagree with that.
I would agree with you on that, and I think it's not only cool, but and I know that's not why you would do it, but just being outspoken about it, and empowering girls who teenage girls who are maybe going through, and guys for that matter, who are going through what you went through. I think that's like I had a similar conversation with Tyler from Neon Trees, because he's just, I get goosebumps just thinking about it, because he's such a in my opinion, he did everything the right way. You know what I mean? He was quiet for so long, and then when he did finally come out, he did it at Rolling Stone, which was a big platform, but he didn't do it with fanfare and put the spotlight on me at all. But that does, like I said, it empowers, and I gotta believe that. I haven't gone through your struggles. I can't speak from experience, but I gotta believe that makes a 15-year-old boy go, all right, I got this, a little bit. So
totally, hopefully, that's
applause.
what you hope for.
Yeah. So I applaud you and him. I just think it's awesome. So
thanks.
So what's Seattle like these days? I don't know if you can see this, but hardcore Pearl Jam nerd.
Oh my
fan.
God! I was like, wait, that's
the
really
stick
familiar.
man. Yeah, the stick man.
It totally is.
What are things like up there these days? Is it? I mean, that was for people like me.
Yeah.
That was that was my musical awakening, if you will. Is it still? Are you guys still very proud of that town? Is it still very much? Is it? It seemed like everybody nurtured each other, and is it still kind of?
It feels really like I was going to say comical. That's not the word I was looking for. It feels very communal.
And comical.
Words,
and comical. Words. Yeah, communal and comical.
Well, I don't really live there anymore, though. Oh. I'm on the road. I'm on the road all the time, so I'm there probably about like once a month. But I live in Massachusetts now.
Oh,
but when I was in,
remember I told you I didn't read the Wikipedia page.
No, I'm glad. This is, it's new too. So but Seattle itself is like, I feel really communal and really takes care of each other. Like I was just talking with Ben last night, Macklemore. Like he called me on my bus. He was like, I miss you. What are you doing? And I told him about the single and everything. And so we still are close. Like I'm close with Hollis. Like this is not just like, LA friendships or something. Like we've all like been in it together for a long time.
Yeah, well, and you seem proud too, because I mean, we're fairly proud of our Minneapolis scene, and I think when you've got a scene or you just feel like you have some, I don't know, some substance to your town, musically, you kind of boast about it a little bit.
Totally.
So, yeah, that's cool. And Seattle's kind of like my number 2 though, because those were big days for me. They shaped who I am as a music fan. So.
Well, do you know Marco Collins? I mean, I know Marco Collins was a DJ, and he like broke everybody up in Seattle. All the grunge days. He was the guy that played you on the radio and got he was the first one to play Sweater Song, a whole bunch of things. He's like the only DJ in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And Marco lives up north in Seattle, and so when Marco's on your side for he was like, "You're gonna be big." I was like, "I'm gonna be big." Everybody, Marco said.
Just so you know. I already know it's a foregone conclusion. You might as well just buy the record now, because you're going to be forced to in, months, years, something like that. So you might as well just buy it now.
Yes.
I want to go back because the one thing I did read up on when I saw the 2-hour thing, I also noticed something that jumped out at me. Brave New Voices International Poetry Competition. Now I know this was a long time ago, 2008 or whatever. You represented Seattle. The reason that I wanted to bring that up is, how is writing lyrics for poetry and writing lyrics for a song? Is it the same? Is it different? Do you have a different mindset, or are you just kind of, yes?
Yes, sorry, I'm like nodding. I'm going to answer this
very
silently.
Much different.
This will help for the
it's
radio interview.
Mary. You have to talk. Okay. You can't just nod.
No, they feel different. It's a different animal for sure. I think when I'm writing music, I'm thinking much more structurally, and wondering how, can I say something and one line that's gonna rip someone's heart out and squish it, and then sing lovely on top of it. Can I achieve that in this moment? And then with poetry, I feel like, at least for me, it's more of a stream of consciousness. It's and then back to editing, but it's often just like this, I don't know, just a throw up of all of these thoughts and feelings and words, and then, going through metaphors and a lot of things I feel restricted when I write music that I don't feel when I'm writing poetry.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. Well, I think there's a little bit of that in Secrets.
The poetry?
Yeah, a little bit of the stream of consciousness. I mean,
I think so too.
It's quirky and it seems like you streamed consciousness a little bit in it, but then also there's the structure and gosh darn it, if it doesn't have a hook too, it gets stuck in your head.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that's probably one of my proudest moments as a writer. Just it's exactly what the intention was. I think I achieved. Yeah,
I mean I think the intention seems like, it's got an amazing message. You're kind of just throwing yourself out there. But it's also a breath of fresh air musically, I think, sonically. And like I said, it's catchy on top of that. So it's kind of got a little bit of everything, I think.
Thank you. So I always feel like I'm like, well, I've already aired out my dirty laundry, so
right?
Good luck finding any dirt on me.
Yeah, right? Here's my secrets, pal. Like it or not, right? Kind of a little bit like, here it is. Yeah. Take it or leave.
So what? Yeah. Oh wait, I just quoted my song. I really didn't mean to quote my song.
Well, let's just say you quoted Pink.
Okay.
So what?
Well, I think we can debate who said it first.
We can look at the trademarks, I'm sure. Mary, thank you for taking time to stop by. Hopefully you'll come back again soon.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.